team. We'll start with an opening statement, and then we'll jump in.
Yep. All right. First of all, congratulations to Ohio State. We played some really good football teams this year, and they're right up there. And so we were outmatched, outcoached. You can go on and on for everything. So again, I'm going to keep saying, as long as I'm the head football coach here, it all starts with me and ends with me. We got to be way better. We didn't make enough plays, which has kind of been the story of the year. We haven't made enough plays to win football games, and simple plays, easy plays, hard plays, we just haven't made enough. Just too inconsistent, especially just the identity of our football team. It's just too inconsistent of a lot of guys coming in, a lot of guys playing, a lot of guys probably playing that aren't ready to play, but they have to play, which is giving them experience, but that's the position we're at right now. When you play number 2 team in the country, who's one of the deepest teams in the country, that's what happens. We lose 7, 8, 9 guys. It affects our football team deeply. Ohio State does. I'm not saying it doesn't affect them. It just doesn't affect them probably as hard as us, and that's a credit to them and how they recruit and how they develop and all the other things in college football right now. So really proud of our players, how hard they played. We were in the game pretty much until, that huge 70-yard, 80, whatever it was, that huge run. That's what happens when you misfit. But again, young guys got to learn from that. Got some guys banged up today and went down the depth chart as well, and no excuses, but they're gaining valuable experience, and part of that is the failing part. It's been a really, really hard second half of the year, and guys are getting that type of experience, which the failing's growth, and that's, we're going to keep investing in it because there's no other option. With what we have and where we're at, there's no option except keep investing, keep getting them better, keep changing our best, and a lot of these things are going to get better over time. You just want the time to be now, but probably isn't right now for some of them. But I'm proud of how hard they played. All the way to the end. They play their tail ends off, that's for sure. But the lack of execution was a difference tonight.
PJ, you knew that Ohio State had a good defense. What did you feel like were the specific struggles you had offensively?
Pretty much everything. From protection to the run game to running with our eyes up. I thought we made some pretty good holes at times. We fell down at times and not touched. You can't do that against guys like this. Had a few drops, inconsistent throws. And when you're playing a team like this, if you are off schedule at all, they got you. Especially with the lack of depth we have right now. It's just, they get you off schedule and they got you. And then if you give them turnovers, if you give them the ball, that just doubles, triples, quadruples the issue. And you saw that happen very fast. Because I thought I'm not saying we were in control of the game by any means, but it's 13-0 at halftime. We controlled the field position of where we wanted them to go. We fixed some things that we felt we could do better. But the next thing you know, it's a minute, 7 seconds later, and it's 14 points on top of what they just had, and that was it. 27-0. And you're sitting there going, okay, how many more times of inside zone are we going to do here? It's unfortunate because I'm not sure, with our run game, even our play action stuff. You could tell even tonight they didn't necessarily respect that. So you're giving play action, he's getting pressure on them, and there's no time for the routes to be able to develop downfield. And but again, that's coaching, scheme, personnel. We've got some personnel things right now that some controlled, some not controlled, that we've got to be able to figure out, and that starts with me.
PJ, you had the ball at their 42 and their 40 in the first half. Did you consider going for it on those 4th downs?
What'd you decide?
I didn't think you did.
No, I'm asking you.
It's a risky play either way. I'd say, get the ball back to them.
Yeah, I just like to ask you, Randy.
Sure.
We're in your office all the time. All right, so both of them are about 4th and 5, right? Midfield. One's 10-0, I think. 13-0. Here's what goes through your mind. 4th and 2, 4th and 1. I'm all in on that. 4th and 5. Why not pin them down? Our defense was playing really after the first drive. I thought our defense settled down, kept them out of the end zone. The game's way shorter. You make them go 90-some yards, and there's ability of they could screw up. Okay, so we're not just banking on them screwing up, but there could be a safety, there could be a bad snap, we could pick the ball off, they could change the game like that. You don't get it, and they go down and score, the game's over. And you saw that in the second half, how fast, bang, bang, 2 plays, minute, 7 seconds, it was out of reach. Why did I want to do that in the first quarter? Why did I want to do that to my team in the second quarter? My job is to manage the game, to always keep my team in the game. If you go back a few years ago with Muhammad Ibrahim, I think it's 10-0. We're on our own 30-yard line, 20-some yard line. That was worth it to me. It was 4th and 1. Because if we didn't get that, either way, the game was probably going to be out of reach. So to me, that was the calculated risk. This was different. 4th and 5, nope. We pinned him down both times, and I thought our defense played really well. So that's why I made that decision. So I feel like it turned out the exact way we wanted it to turn out. So I think it was a win-win on both sides. It's just second half, those 2 quick touchdowns just put the game out of reach.
BJ, how do you feel about Nathan's awareness in the pocket? Do you feel like he held onto it too much?
It's not about just holding on to it too much. We're getting way too much pressure on him. I don't think he looks comfortable back there, with the pressure coming at him at times. I think there's times he does look good and comfortable, and then there's times he's off his spot, keeping his eyes down the field as he steps up. Guys being able to create separation. But this is one of the best front fours in the country. And, we put ourselves in some tough positions, and you got to hang on to the football, though. Period. And there's probably 3 or 4 plays that are unacceptable. That we have to be able to control. That we don't do a good job of it, and they take huge advantages of it. But I thought there's some positives, but then there's also some things we gotta address and evaluate and get better.
How does having Marvin Harrison on the field change what a defense does?
Well, they only played a half. Actually, I think he played 2 quarters in 2 minutes or something. After those 2 quick touchdowns, I don't think we saw him again. He's a huge matchup problem for us. Even on the touchdown, we did everything we could to double him, but we just don't get there quick enough. We're disguising, which I'm not sure why we were disguising. That's not what we were supposed to be doing, but we're disguising. So again, that falls on me. He's big, he's strong, he's long. He can play the short game, he can play long game, he can play any position. They move him around. I mean, and you're taking one of the 10 weapons they have away. And that's the thing. He's a very special player, but they have weapons everywhere. So you can take one away, it's just pick your poison. Which way do you want to go down? And then which one do you want to put, at least do everything you can to eliminate. But other than that, then they have other guys that can step up and be really good playmakers. So that's what a national championship team looks like.
PJ with 3 straight losses. How do you look at that?
We were 0-1 in the Ohio State season, period.
How close was Kobe to playing? Looked like he was warming up.
He's closer. We're just, it's it's football. I mean, it's football. I mean, we got to get guys back on the field, get them healthy, and hopefully they can rejoin us at some point. But we're missing a lot of our best players and a lot of playmakers, and as I said before, we're not very deep, and that's my issue. And that's something that we've got to continue to address here, and get deeper as we go, and get really creative of how we do it. I've already made my statements on that and why and how, and I'm not going to be a broken record. People want to listen to that or not. I mean, we have a lot of reasons, and there's a new era of college football, and we've got to continue to find creative ways to gain depth, keep depth, maintain depth, retain depth, and then bring depth in from the portal side and the recruiting side, and we will. We're not deep enough right now when we lose a few guys, and this has nothing to do with year 7. I mean, the last 2 years are completely different than anything college football has ever seen. So it's not like, hey, year 7, you should just be reloading in this. When you lose players, and we're pretty young right now. And there's freshmen running all over that field. You're not going to beat the number 2 team in the country, freshmen running all over the field. But again, it's investment towards the future. And sooner or later, a program like us, we're going to have to do that.
What was your message to your team? One game left in the regular season.
Putting everything we can into 1-0 against Wisconsin. Most important game of the season. Period.
You previously mentioned that Michigan was the best team, or one of the best teams that you've ever coached against. Where does this Ohio State team compare?
Oh, I think you're splitting hairs. I mean, you know, what color Ferrari would you like, a red one or a white one? Just based on preference, what one you want to pick in the lot. I mean, I think that's why next week's going to be a heck of a matchup. You'll find out next week. We played them both. I just gave you my analogy. I mean, they're both really good. So we'll find out which one's better next week, because my opinion doesn't matter.
Everybody all set with Coach? All right,
Thanks, everybody. Go County, Golden Gophers. Thank you.